Hello everyone and welcome to the first match in the best of 3 between our Genetron player here and his opponent in the bottom left hand corner. This was played from the recently finished March, I think it was March actually, Scion tournament. Of course, I did actually, cast the second and third games live. I think there must have been a problem with the recording for the first game. Maybe I just forgot to. I forgot why exactly that was. It's pretty much about exactly a month ago at this point. But I have forgotten what happened between these two in their first game. So hopefully it could be an interesting cast. In 17 minutes. It's putting here in the bottom left-hand corner from the Scion Races clan. It is BowofArtemis, playing with Chiron converters, of course, and his opponent in the top right-hand corner with the green Genetron ACRs. It's from Platinum Hero patches. It's a very quick analysis terminal, but for a 17-minute game, a reliquary first is not what I expected to see. He's going for a nullifier behind the natural. Now Patches sees this. Does he see it? I think he definitely sees it. This is his first person perspective. He's not previous. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, he's done this to me like a couple times. It's not a very good strategy. It very, 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 very rarely puts him ahead. If you don't know, you can actually build from the low ground up here. Yeah, that's a bit too far forward though. You're gonna have to put that further behind here. No, you have to put it further back. Artemis, what are you doing? Artemis, you have to put it further back. Cancel, 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 cancel. Very good. No, no, this isn't finished yet. What are you doing, Artemis? Artemis. Anyway, the counterplay is not gonna happen. Oh man, completely destroyed. It was cancel on one, I believe, maybe both. No, Patches, this is gone. You can't do this once there's a range unit out. It doesn't work anymore. Get out of here. If you don't know, actually, something you can do, you don't even need vision on the high ground to build. You can build from the low ground up there. It's not particularly overpowered with Chiron because of how it works. Perhaps you could catch an opponent by surprise if you did that, but with the worker having to stay around to build the entire thing, the entire structure that is, I don't think it would work as a very reliable kind of cannon rush substitute. But who knows? Conduit coming down, still no second expansion as there is a repulsor blocking it. It's actually completely stopping ramps. It's going to completely shut down any units. It's going to be trying to come up that ramp. Oh, I forgot to do this actually. Sorry guys. Sorry. Just going to turn that down a little bit. What was it? The life points. Show unit bars. Damaged. There we go. That's better. Should be allowed damaged and selected at the same time. It's like, oh well. Yeah, nothing's going to be able to get down that ramp super easily. But there's a conduit, of course. Patches second base. It's beginning to be saturated, 2 volts. Not going to be able to do anything. Somehow this goes for 17 minutes. I don't know what happens. I do know who wins this based off the result of the next 2 matches. But I won't spoil that for you guys here. Home base already. You see that he hasn't taken a natural base. Maybe he assumes there might be a gold base. Yeah, he's checking for gold base, but there's nothing there. There's no gold base on the other side either. No, it's just a whole lot of nothing. It's just 23 workers. One of them's in the production tab. He's just kind of thinking, what do I make? 2 echoes is going to be the choice. I do like that a lot. Gonna try to slow down your opponent's mining a bit. He's supply blocked, though he could very easily simply just start up some interdictors, but he's like, I have to defend my single base. Bro, if you're on one base, you better be all in it. Oh, it's a nice planet in the back. Of course, does slow down worker production as well, and the production of things like nodes, so he's going to be supply blocked a little while longer. Outlet coming down, as well as starting to build up himself a force of vaults of Right, it's a little bit early in the morning. He's trying to overclock these out, but he does not have the energy to afford such a thing. What's this? That's very interesting.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
The energy bar was there. It showed 58, but it wasn't. He's clearly on 0 energy. Very slowly, very painfully, gonna be working away on those echoes. Yeah. Normally they would take 21 seconds, but I think it's prolonged by about twice as much when there's an echo sitting on top of it. Some blitzers though have arrived, so this does not slow down attack speed. It's not that overpowered. Movement speed is still quite a big deal though, of course. Natural expansion being taken. I don't know why Patches loses this, but I guess the outfitting station isn't even finished yet, so you can't have these Spitfires on turbo mode. Because the new skins for the Spitfires are looking very cool. New patch has come out, but you know, still, even if these are the new, even if these old Spitfires were the new Spitfires, I doubt he'd be able to lose if he had the speed upgrade. Assembly array coming up and relay tower. There's just not much to say. Sorry guys. Supply blocked again. Come on, Patches. It's supposed to be in Masters League. My Terran's in Diamond 1 and I'm way better than this. No dissonance projector, I believe it's called. Where's your dissonance projector? But double outlet, and he's just going to be fusing these auroras. Okay, now this is quite scary. This is very scary. He does have torrents along the way. I do like that a lot. He's going to need that if he's going to survive. All of a sudden, this game's looking much more dire here for Patches. With, you know, all these Spitfires not being able to shoot up against these 3 auroras. The auroras, I'm not sure how to feel about them as a core army unit, honestly. Perhaps a bit similar to Toidos, but they don't shoot up. But the damage is quite, you know, halation plasma. Damage is quite solid. Yeah, all of a sudden you have these. Where's these auroras? They are biological, so they take bonus damage from spore crawlers, and they can also be sniped if you're a Terran player. So honestly, you know, not quite as strong against those races because they have much more solid answers to these. Still probably fine against Zerg, but yes. Still no distance projector or upgrades of any sort. Oh no, it does have modify gate. But +1/+1 is out here for Patches, which is gonna help him out a massive ton. He's probably gonna be wanting to get that enhanced targeting. Of course, all these upgrades sadly just removed. I am very disappointed about that, Celsius. You just remove all these upgrades. Bring back upgrades. A bit of a fight going down here. A lot of Spitfires. They don't even have calibrated engines yet, but there's just so many of them. But these auroras, there's only 2 measly torrents. And Inciter is what is not what you need at all. He's going to need blitzes, he's going to need more torrents. Yeah, keep this on overclock mode and just start overclocking out those torrents, my guy. Does he have enough energy? Yeah, he definitely has enough energy for this kind of production. Seems like he's spending and making the exact same amount. No. I'm gonna say spending and making the exact same amount of energy, but these relay towers still going up, but that is only a single torrent on overclock mode. This Echo is gonna see if it can slow down these Spitfires, see if he can catch a couple more maybe. It's gonna find this base, I do believe. Yeah, sees it now. So there's a run by of Inciters at the natural. Oh, that's marvelous. Very well done here, Patches. Do very big splash damage, but unfortunately haven't got to see them hit any others. But they do also jump up ramps. Oh, so much splash damage on these pulsars. Without that dampener upgrade, they just get destroyed. Oh my gosh. Pulsars, of course, are light, but in the meantime, this gold-based expansion has gone down, but it doesn't really matter. This is definitely more workable patches. Actually, only 5 workers going down. It's a lot of mining time though. All of these, there's nothing mining there during all of that, and Patches has a 3rd base. BowofArtemis 3rd base on the way, but the disparity in supply and the disparity in tech and all that. Oh, just hold that thought. There's a big fight. This army here for Patches caught on a little bit of a move command. He's gonna... BowofArtemis is gonna run away, but I don't think this is enough torrents to fight so many fused... Actually no, most of them aren't fused, but you know, this many Auroras, some of them also being fused. Yeah. What I was gonna say though earlier, before that fight, was that there's not as much of an advantage here for Patches as it was earlier in the game. Still, of course, does have a lead, but Torrent's gonna be torrenting away. Does get an Aurora, but some Torrents also going down, and with 3 left. So far, the unit's lost. Looking mighty fine here for Artemis. Still 77 to 110 army supply, and look at the army is a bit ridiculous. Though Genetron is floating a lot of gas, he's adding on more manufacturers. But come on, look at this army. Look how many Auroras there are. You're gonna want to have this enhanced targeting upgrade and a 2nd fabricator for more torrents. At least a 2nd fabricator. Come on. +2/+2 though is on the way. Still no weapon upgrades here for torrents though. I'm a big fan of getting these heavy weapons upgrades while you get your ground armor and light vehicle weapon upgrades. Oh my gosh, I have the hiccups. Though perhaps a bit of a base trade. Artemis not realizing that the army is still there on his side of the map, not sending out any units to check to see if it's there. It's going to be going immediately into this 3rd base. Army here for Patches probably wants to try to take down the 3rd base over here, but okay, it's going to actually force Artemis back home. Oh my gosh, look at this. God, 3rd base goes down. 4 Umbra, and what's that, like 8 Auroras. Oh man, 8 Auroras just going to be completely demolishing this army. Look at the army value. Yeah, active forces heavily in favor here of Artemis. He should not be fighting the army here at all. If you're Patches, you need to be building up your own army. He's making some Aquila. I do like that. Aquila, very good anti-air, very good anti-ground, very good at everything. He already has, I nearly said 5, and then I nearly said 6, and then I nearly said 5 again. He has 6. 2 more joining the fray. Got METV using that supercharge though, if he's going to want to get the value out of him. Aquila without supercharge, not that great. There we go, there's that supercharge. I believe it triples the damage. Yeah. So you just destroy these poor units of Artemis. It's 14 minutes in an almost 18-minute game. and it's not looking so good anymore for Artemis. He was beginning to climb himself back in the game, but these roarers just not very tanky at all. Just get completely blown out of the sky by these Aquila, which costs 100. That's quite cheap actually for so much damage. They are extremely fragile themselves, being light and only 100. So it's very easy. Like, you have 2 to 4 myriads as Artemis, and these Aquila do not stand a chance. They just, like, you lose 8 of them all at once, and that's 800, you know, minus 800. It's just the wrong army here at all, like, completely. He's got to try to chase he's too used to playing Bioterran. He's trying to, like, you know, chase the flying unit with the medevac marine. Try to unload the marines to chase the units, but these couriers, they don't have the booster upgrade. They cloak, but you know, they don't heal, they don't do any of that. Do have a little extra cargo space, but well. Patch is not seeming to finish the game out just yet, just continuing to macro, but he's still just 100 supply out of his opponent. 2 Elysiums coming up, I do like that a lot. The convergence, super good. Just, it one-shots Aquila, it one-shots Spitfires, does not one-shot Torrents. I believe it does 120 damage because it has a bonus against mechanical, which every Genitron has is mechanical. Oh, this is not a good idea though. It's not bio, you can't be splitting up your forces like that. Of course, if you had a Spitfire run by, that would be a different story, but in third days, this is a lot of trouble. Energize going down, it's going to buy a little extra time, but it does go down. 2 workers as well. But what is this called again? The targeting, the analyze weakness from the entire army. And this army does look a lot bigger than it actually is because it had a lot of workers in it. It does have more energize at his natural. It's going to back off for a little bit, which is a curious call. Convergence is now coming up. He's going to need to hit the biggest convergences of all time to get back into this, but only 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. And the replay says that he probably is not, unless maybe he sweeps, the victory out right at the very end with massive convergences over the entire army, moves across the map and wins. But convergence is still a while off and no meridians in sight. And a very big army of helicopters. 40 workers in the blink of an eye. Spitfires are amazing. The stun grenade does miss. Is it flash spray or stun? Nanite. Nanite grenade. All the workers at the natural going down. Natural base also going to go down. Convergence might finish, but there are no meridians to cast it. There are just no meridians. There's so much money here in the bank as well for patches. You could make a transition towards badges if you wanted to, and then do that. Artemis can do 3 Umbras, an Aurora, and a Dream here for Artemis. It's just 59 supply against 8. It's like a maxed out force. GG is called. Patches wins game number 1. And now I can upload this series to YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It's quite nicely done. Wow. I'd missed that. No Olympus yet, unfortunately, in this patch. Here for the patches. For him to spend all that extra energy on. It's going to be able to put... does probably have all of this on overclock mode. And that's going to be it for this cast. I hope you do enjoy it. I hope the next 2 casts of me from the past will be good. You're probably not used to seeing someone from the future cast the first replay and then the guy from the past cast the next 2, but yeah, should be interesting. See you in the next replay. Hello everyone, welcome to the second match between Patches and BowofArtemis here. Unfortunately I wasn't able to cast the first one live because some weird issues with software, so I have to let the game finish and then restart the computer. But Patches gonna open up with a node over here. Interesting position. Might as well give him a little bit of vision though for air units coming in that way. Which of course BowofArtemis is very fun off the Aurora. But spawning up here in the top left hand corner of Neo Humanity LE, playing for Clan Scion races, it is BowofArtemis. And his opponent, playing with the green Genetron ACRs, playing for Team Platinum Hero, we have Patches. I'm not used to doing that zoom in thing. Let me try that again. That's better. There. Got to take your hand off the Control F. Anyway, Converter coming in for a scout. Seems everything is fairly normal except a very quick analysis terminal. It's gonna scout, I believe, an second base gonna come down. It's gonna try to block it for a little bit. Second base, of course, already started, almost halfway actually. Ooh, a repulsor rush coming out of Patches. I don't think that's actually. This one might be in range of the Citadel. I think it is. The other two doesn't look like it. But they should be able to shoot at least this one down from the high ground, and as long as that one's an important knockdown, you don't need to worry about this for a while. So, curious to see how much damage this will end up doing. Of course, ooh, he's gonna borrow them. He's gonna wait for the workers to transfer, and then he's gonna unborrow them later. Love to see that. That's actually a very interesting play. I don't think you need 3 repulsors for that, but you know, of course, it might be worth it considering how much damage you might end up doing. Man, that's a very cute play. Unfortunately, he's hit a supply block. It's gonna delay his own worker production by a fair amount. Chiron now up 4 workers for essentially free. Foundry coming up. Umbra is definitely going to help with clearing these once he figures out that those do exist. I don't believe you can see them. Oh no, you can see them. Here's Patches. There's a marker. A little graphic. Does he notice? Does he realize? Keep the production tab open. Okay. +1 light vehicle weapons now coming up here for Patches. Okay, now he decides to unburrow them. Though he still leaves this one burrowed. I like that decision. Though BowofArtemis might realize that this does exist by the time he clears up these 2. 5 worker kills. Very good so far, but I don't know. He delayed his own second base to do that by a significant margin. I think, yep, Umbra, charges Citadel, very nice, and then go in while it's energized. I'm gonna wait for a little more units. Yep, he goes in, uses energize, very nicely done. They're both target fired on the Umbra, so they're not actually going to end up killing anything else. No, still one more left though. So potentially unburrow that one later. I don't think Artemis realized about the graphic there. A bit unfortunate, but very good play. Okay, he decides to unburrow it right now. Gets only a single more work, and then he burrows it again. Oh, does get a second worker, but is locked down before he can do anything else. And once it's locked down, of course, it is revealed when it's burrowed. So, a bit unfortunate there for Patches, but nicely dealt with by Artemis. Okay, supplies fairly even. Worker counts definitely now in favor of Patches, so that did buy him that worker advantage, though he's moving across with his army, which is a big mistake because BowofArtemis is moving in with his own army. He's going to try to get some counter damage. The army here for Patches is way out of position. There's no calibrated engines for them to fall back to. So his workers are going to get run away. They're going to get chased down. 9 workers going down so far, but counterattack by Patches. Going to clean up a lot of workers of his own. This second base in a lot of trouble here. Patches. Oh, third base cancelled as well. Same can be said though here for BowofArtemis on the other side of the map. An Umbra and a worker pool is going to attempt to deal with these. It does get, I think that might have been 2 Spitfires, but doesn't end up finishing those ones. But the army is moving here on top of the production in the main base. Mole is coming up. Manufacturing is on overclock mode. The workers do get pulled, but there's 2 pulsars absolutely going to town. Man. So much damage. Absolutely crazy second game here. Mechanical weapons is not going to be able to finish up. Just barely denied there. That's very unfortunate. Those Umbras not going to be able to get those nice upgrades. Artemis fully embracing the 1 base though. He's going to get a bunch more structures though. Then again, that is needed to unsupply block him. Okay, charge going down. I think he's going to restart the second base. I feel like you could have kept. I feel like you could have continued to push here as Artemis, but he did kill a sizable number of workers. The worker pool from the main base, of course, allowing those pulsars to get so many worker kills. A mole is now out though, as well as a lot of Spitfires, so I don't think he can push the issue. He retreats home only just to push back out again. I think that's a mistake. So, the army is a little disjointed here. Gets caught out in the open. Mole now burrows, but does get a couple free Spitfires there, does Artemis. Umbras, cloaks, they're going to snipe the mole potentially, or they're going to run past to try and do some damage. Okay, very cute play here. On Spitfire does grab the sensor tower, the Zelnaga tower, even though it's actually not in the smoke. Okay, you decide to join up with the rest of the army in the end. Okay, second base finishing here for Artemis, but the second base only a little over halfway here for Patches so far. Grab himself a nice lead. Oh, Mole is target fired down, just Spitfires left. These tanky Umbra and high damage Spitfires, pulsars rather, do manage to kill every single last Spitfire. There's only the production left. Another worker pool is going to be forced. Only 1 pulsar this time. Does end up going down, but there's still 2 Umbra with high amounts of shields left. They do target fire that Spitfire, and that's going to be GG for Patches. We're going to game number 3. What an absolutely crazy second game. There's 2 armies kind of passing each other in the middle of the night. Yeah. BowofArtemis though, definitely getting the better trade out of that one. Though Patches is now going to be able to use his Terran as the loser of that. So the last, and we're going to be playing on the last map, Grassvan. Of course, Artemis is from New Zealand, Patches is from the central US, so we are playing on West. Okay. Okay. Patches deciding to use Genetron in this final match. Gonna be very interesting to see how this unfolds. Artemis, of course, going for more like production heavy style than I do, so if Patches doesn't respond ideally, then can get in a lot of trouble. Spawning here in the top left hand corner of Grassvan LE, playing with green Genetron ACRs. We indeed do have patches. Okay, got it that time. Oh, missing a worker, I think. Yep. Oh dear. Been playing with the red current converters in the bottom right hand corner of Fan. It is BowofArtemis. Using Energize very early on. I don't think that's sufficient. If it's going to go on the high ground here, actually going to be able to see if there's repulsors coming up. I actually like that decision here. Very cool out of Artemis. Don't think though we're going to be seeing any tower rushes in this game. It's actually going to be a core first from processing core that is first out of patches. We'll be able to get that faster second base. Artemis starts up his own second base though, not too much after, so he doesn't make anything other than the edifice before the second base. I like that. The Sanctum now also going to come up. Actually goes for analysis terminal. Is he going to be repulsor rushing again? BowofArtemis though. Wait, BowofArtemis. No. He's going to be able to see if they're behind, but they're not actually going to be in height. They're going to be in front. They're not in range of the Citadel. Oh dear. Unless I'm mistaken, that doesn't look like it's in range of the Citadel at all. Volt finds them as well. Should be able to split target firing these, so then they can slow down the production time. Yep. Okay, it's going to be a full worker pool. I don't mind this decision at all, though honestly, because it's not in range. Yeah, the production time, of course, though. Slowed down by I think 50%, might be 66% though. Gonna have to fact check me on that one. Okay, and Citadel is gonna be able to finish up. Though of course, his own processing core has long since finished. He's gonna go for a third base already after a repulsor rush. Only a single manufacturer against BowofArtemis' more unit heavy style. Interesting. Is Artemis gonna punish this? Is he gonna punish this? Well, worker moving across the map. Is it moving in for a scout? I do believe it is. It's actually going to be checking the third base. Oh, perfect scout here by Artemis. It's going to be able to see the greed of this man. He's already throwing down an outlet. Yep. Is that going to trigger a move out here from Artemis? Perhaps going to wait for a couple more units. Second pulsar is always nice to have. Gonna have to see. But I think though, unless, yeah, no, he's seen all three bases. He's not going to try to punish this? Not sure about this call here, honestly. Yeah, and he's not trying to respond with greed of his own either, so. Outfitting station and analysis terminal coming up here. Or analysis terminal, no, actually already in production. Light vehicle weapons, level 1 coming up. Relay tower just hidden in the back, being used as a little battery to store some energy. Instead of being put, you know, maybe here or over here for some extra recharge. An aggressive citadel from Artemis. I've heard of this once before. I've never really tried it myself, honestly, because, you know, that's 400 minerals for an aggressive warp-in pylon, essentially. But could work very well. You do also have that energize available to you if you upgrade that. So, you know, if Patches tries to then pressure this base, you can use that to get +3 shield armor. Oh dear. These Spitfires moving out with the calibrated engines, so risky. Keeps doing this each game. Another mistake. He's going to lose every single Spitfire for completely free. Of course, with calibrated engines, you'd be able to easily outrun them and go back to your base. moving almost as fast as Hellions, not quite. And now he's got only a single Spitfire at home, starting up 3 repulsors at the natural. That's definitely a necessity. Though he's also seen an Aurora, so he's going to need some anti-air. Mole, good choice, and a Fixer as well coming up. Yep, okay, now BowofArtemis is going to start pressuring this. This aggressive base is also has also finished production, and Patches in a lot of trouble here. Repulsors do finish up in the nick of time. This army just might be too strong here out of Artemis. He moves out of range of that mole, which did shell at him for a couple seconds. The Spitfires do have a lot of DPS. Calibrated engines finished up as well, so he's going to be able to fight them a little bit. 7 workers going down so far. 8, 9, and 10 going to be falling as well, but the space is still left alive. Target fires the weakened Umbra, very nicely done out of Patches. Pulsar not target fired on those units either. No production here out of Artemis though. We're going to need some follow-up weapons, as we do see here, or Shapens actually, I guess. The Auroras go into the high ground and snipe the mole. That's Patches' only anchor really. He's got nothing else to fall back on. 7, 9, all the workers remaining at this base is going down, and there's not really anything left here for Patches. All Artemis really needs to do is move up this ramp. 3 more repulsors going down. BowofArtemis is on 2 bases. He can take a 3rd base if he wants. He could use this as his 3rd base. I don't see a world in which Patches can come back from this. He's going to need to harass his mind out. But this Aurora Umbra army is so hard to beat if you don't have the overwhelming unit count. Big fight happening. All the repulsors just going down. The army goes down as well, and BowofArtemis wins this series 2-1. Very cool to see. Very, very cool to see going to game 3.